Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. So just a quick one for now, with the weekend edging ever closer, we are getting the final few trickles and teases for the new Eldar Codex, and today we've been shown something that I actually don't think we've seen the datasheet for, which is a bit rare these days. But we have had some rumours from the Discord leaks, and it looks like they were on point once again. So let's take a look at what the updated Fire Prism will be shooting in the new codex. So as I said, we don't know the stats or anything like that, I don't believe, but what Warcom have shown off today is the very tasty new weapon profile for the Prism cannon, which as you can see has had a bit of a tidy up, dropping from the 3 different profiles to just 2, one very much anti-infantry and the other a very potent anti-tank stat line. Gone is the old D6 Strength 6 -3 AP 1 damage profile. Now the dispersed profile is a much beefier 3d3 shots at the same Strength 6, a reduced -2 AP but a much better flat 2 damage. So it is pretty much all round going to be better. It's got more shots, higher minimum number from 1 to 3 and better damage. The lack of AP does hurt, yes, but -2 is still good enough to push most things to having a pretty bad save, or with the game as it is right now, to their invulnerable save. So that isn't a total wash by any stretch. Overall, it's just a much more all-around solid profile, and absolutely brilliant now for taking out things like squads of marines. The lance profile and the focused profile have now been combined into one focused lance profile. Great imagination there. And whereas previously you could take D3 shots at strength 9 -4 AP D3 damage, or 1 shot at strength 12 -5 AP and D6 damage, this now just gets a boost in every way, jumping to a flat 2 shots at strength 14 -5 AP and a flat 3d3 damage. So that is an average of 6 damage, but spiking all the way up to 9 damage per shot. So each Fire Prism can now net you a potential total of 18 wounds in a single shooting phase, which is incredible. It's not quite, I don't think, Tau Railgun tier, as there aren't any extra mortal wounds, and you could spike really low and just roll 3 damage for a single shot. But whilst you may notice that, also unlike the Railgun, it doesn't ignore invulnerable saves, there is a way to get around that. And the previously somewhat confusing linked fire stratagem has had a whopping redesign. No longer letting your Fire Prisms essentially get to reroll hit and wound rolls, as well as ignoring range and line of sight. Now the linked fire stratagem at 2 CP instead of 1 lets you choose a primary Fire Prism and then either 1 or 2 other Fire Prisms within 12 inches and visible, and then until the end of the shooting phase, each of the other selected Fire Prisms cannot make shooting attacks, but the primary one, when it fires using the focused lance profile, gets 2 extra shots for each of the other Fire Prisms you've chosen, so either an extra 2 or an extra 4 depending on whether you selected 1 or 2 other Fire Prisms, and invulnerable saves cannot be taken against its shots. So you essentially don't lose any firepower, it all just comes through 1 tank instead of 2 or 3, and you gain that all-important ignore invuln saves. For 2 CP, it is very, very powerful, but I wouldn't argue it's game-breakingly so. I actually think the old 1 CP version that let you ignore line of sight and range and reroll everything is much, much nastier rules-wise. Obviously, with the new weapon profiles, this new version in 9th is going to be better, but the actual rule of ignore invulns probably isn't as good as everything you got from the old 8th edition version. So I actually rather like this. It's really fluffy and gives you that awesome imagery of all 3 Fire Prisms combining their shots to just absolutely obliterate an enemy knight or something. And yes, with up to 6 shots doing a potential of 18 D3 wounds, they will probably kill almost anything they aim at. But the actual strat itself doesn't give them crazy extra shots or rerolls or anything like that. For 2 CP, you are essentially just gaining ignore invulnerable saves, and for me, I think that's a decently priced trade-off. So overall, I like the look of the new Fire Prisms. They look genuinely scary, yes, but having to bring 2 or 3 of them to really bring the pain and ignore invulnerable saves is going to leave them, much like the Hammerhead tank for the Tau, a bit of a pricey, risky investment, especially if your opponent has some solid anti-tank of their own. But what do you think of the new Fire Prisms? How do you think the weapon and the stratagem compare to their current 8th edition versions? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.